Yeah! Welcome to Three Conservative Gimps, everybody. It's great to be here. Got a great show today. We're going to be talking about that weird, eerie red speech that Biden gave from Independence Hall, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We'll be talking about that. And we'll be talking about Sarah Palin flipping lost an election for Congress. Who knew? We'll talk about that. And plus, we'll talk about what's called ranked choice voting. So we'll be talking about that. And also, if you haven't noticed yet, campaign ads have started already. So be prepared to listen to those for 2 more months. Yeah, have fun. So let's get this show on the road. Let's welcome my co-host all the way from Muskogee, Oklahoma. Let's welcome Lloyd Mendenhall. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our our Labor Day weekend broadcast.
Wow. So how are you doing, Lloyd?
I'm doing good. I did something I probably haven't done in 3 or 4 years. I mowed my own lawn today.
Wow.
I bought a brand new riding lawnmower, and I'll be damned if my son was going to get to ride it all by himself. He says, "Well, Dad, I'm not ready to take it off the trailer yet." I said, "You will sometime today, because I want to drive it." So he loaded. He went with me to go pick it up today. I bought it last night and then picked it up today. And he backed off the trailer, and I heard him mowing. He was mowing the front of his yard and the side down the alley that is between our two houses. And then he said, "Oh, let me finish this, and then you can mow the front yard." Well, now I know why he allowed me to mow the front yard. There's nothing but a friggin' dust bowl out there. I couldn't even see. Of course, I was smart because I've had both my eyes operated on now very successfully. But I did put on, they give you these really nice wraparound sunglasses. Safety glasses, and they're dark.
And your mask?
I put them on. I should have, but I didn't think it was that friggin' dry out there. But man, I got through some of that, and I literally could not see, even with them new LED headlights. I was looking down on the ground, watching where I was steering to see I wasn't going to run off the curb.
There's no street, there's no sidewalk.
Yeah, exactly.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good
and we're
to go.
Not running over any bushes. That's good. Or flowers.
That's it. Yeah. No, but it was fun. I hadn't done it. It's got. Well, what's nice is you just step on the gas and go. You just and then when you want it in reverse, there's another pedal. You just step on it and it backs up. And it's an automatic transmission, or hydrostatic they call it. And it's got a manual PTO on it, but that's good too. And anyways, it was fun, and my yard looks nice. So I actually did a normal. What normal people do is a weekend event. I mowed. So
there you go. That's probably something I'll be getting if I get my own home.
Well, I feel after doing this, I feel like I should be getting a green card pretty soon.
Yeah, there you go.
I tell you what, though, we got Mexicans that live across the street. They've apparently, a couple of the brothers have gone in and started a yard business. They've got a beautiful yard. I will give them credit,
Yeah.
So they're out mowing now because they saw the white trash guy had mowed his yard, so they have to look as good as white. They do that. They see me mow, especially if they see me mowing. They think, hey, it's got to be bad when Lloyd's mowing. We need to mow our yard.
Yep. 3 CG doesn't mean 3 consumer gardeners.
No, it doesn't. We're 3 conservative gimps. That's why I wished everybody a happy Socialist Day tomorrow, because tomorrow is Labor Day, which was started by
that's right.
Actually one of my namesakes, who ran for president 5 times, was defeated all 5 times, but the 5th time he actually got about a 6 of the electoral votes that year, and he was in prison. And he was in prison when he did it.
Wow, and that's pretty hard to do for third-party candidate
Yeah,
because
Eugene
Ross
Victor Debs, he
Perot
was
never
American.
got any delegate.
Yeah, he's the only third-party delegate. He set the record for the most electoral votes of a third party, and his name is
Wow.
Eugene Victor Debs. Unfortunately, I'm not named Eugene or Victor. That's not my middle name.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell my grandfather was thinking, but my grandfather apparently was a socialist. So, you know, he was a working man. You know, and that's what the labor unions used to be about before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got quite as corrupt as they did. But anyways,
Yeah, that's right, Mr. B. That is Michael. He comes to us. He's one of my new emailers. He's also new to this channel. He's also he just became a member of Artco Drone Solutions.
Drone Solutions, yeah. I think I'm still a member.
Thank you very much.
I have to look.
And so let's roll right into the big topic. So Biden gave a big speech the other day, and I thought didn't he say on the on his
inauguration speech,
he was going to unite the country?
He's the great uniter, not the divider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're probably going to get bumped from here because we say conservatives, and of course, we're naturally now considered semi-fascist terrorists.
Oh, semi-fascist. Oh, yeah. Darn, I wanted to be full fascist.
What's the difference? I mean,
I don't know. Maybe it's 1/3 less. I don't know.
Maybe because we don't stand around and say, "See, Kyle," you know that we.
There we go.
Fascist, you know, yep. And like, you know, his speech. That's what I kind of thought was going to happen.
Oh, I know. We're 1/3 less right than the other guy.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. His speech was just. I watched it. I didn't watch it. I went back and watched excerpts of it because
same here.
I just, you know, and it wasn't even carried by most of the networks. And you know,
no, it was only carried by 2 cable news networks. Yeah. None of the national networks.
Yeah, because
he's so unpopular, they didn't want to carry him.
Well, and you know, he kept saying this is not a campaign speech, but yet he did it in a campaign setting. You know, and God bless those 2 Marines that had to stand behind him. I really expected him to turn to him and give him a salute like this, you know, because you know, or you know, maybe the salute like that or something, you know, because he definitely looked like he was doing a pretty good impression of Satan, if you ask me.
Yeah, yes, he did. Yes,
you know, I expected horns to be cut. The skull mask and horns to be coming out on the background behind him.
Was Emperor Palpatine.
He was doing that too.
And
does he use a teleprompter?
Kept mentioning MAGA Republicans.
Yeah. Oh, you know, and that's I apologize. I have a hat that is definitely not a MAGA hat, but it's pretty much close to it that Ron Lockwood got me, and it's hanging in my other room, and I keep forgetting to bring it in here so I can wear it because it's one that will make. I think it says something about making liberals shed tears or something like that. Vote for Trump and make liberals shed more tears.
Right. Oh boy.
And
he just kept lumping. I mean, he pretty much insulted half the country.
75 million Americans.
Yep.
You know, and that's just it was sad. It was definitely the worst speech I've ever heard by a president. It's the most.
Right.
I mean, good God, let's bring Jimmy Carter back.
Yeah, at least Jimmy Carter was
I'd rather have guy. If I had.
He was naive, but you know.
He was very naive. He had, you know, I mean, he was the governor of Georgia. No offense to my friends in Georgia, but they're the South. They're kind of laid back. They're kind of like, you know, especially back in the 70s. You know, I mean, look at his brother. At least with Jimmy Carter, we got Billy Beer. You know, What are we getting with this moron? I mean,
yeah. What school did he go to? He didn't graduate from Annapolis like Jimmy Carter did.
yeah, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but Jimmy Carter got the, I think he got the Navy Cross. He actually was working on the on the new one of the first nuclear submarines, and it had a core melt. It had a it was starting into core meltdown, and he stayed there during the whole time uh, until he got the problem fixed that kept it from going into a full meltdown, and he was able to save it. And he
Yep.
saved, you know, averted some major disaster because you know one of those
Right.
reactors go off like that, and
Mm-hmm.
but you know it's like Jimmy Carter may have been an idiot for a president, and it wasn't that he wasn't smart or intelligent. He just didn't know, you know. He was naive. You know, it comes down to it. You
Yep.
know, I think
Yeah, he sure
I think
was, and
in
you
some
know,
ways
it's because of him is why we're dealing with the terrorists
the
that we're
why we're
dealing.
dealing with the Middle East
Yep.
because he didn't
Uh huh.
support the Iranian government that was duly elected. And
Yep.
I know, I mean, there's my time in the service was during that time, and I know what
Yep.
happened there, and I know what
Mm-hmm.
was going on, and I'm telling you, I knew then. I said then, you know, I've been saying that for almost 50 years now that you know that because of what we did with Iran, we are paying for it. You know,
Yep. That's right. And
because I mean, he managed to get the Camp David Accords. You
yes, he
know,
did.
he did
Mm-hmm.
do that, so they were working towards peace in the Middle East. You know, but unfortunately, Anwar Sadat, because of that, he was assassinated, and so was forgot who the Israeli president at the time was.
Begin.
Was it
He
Menachem
wasn't
Begin?
assassinated. I don't
No,
think.
okay. Well, one of them was one that was either the one
Oh,
just
you're
before him.
thinking of Isaac Rabin. He was
Yeah, Rabin
assassinated.
was assassinated, and so was Sadat from
Yep.
Egypt, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I mean a lot of that, you know, and we can thank Jimmy Carter for some of our
Yep.
problems now,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But
Yep.
that's not your daddy's Democrat Party either. So
So getting right back to the big speech. So he pretty much lambasted a big chunk of the country and just made up shit about the economy is stronger than it's ever been. It's like really, man,
2 years
it
ago,
just
the lawnmower I bought sold for $1,600. In
wow,
2022, that same lawnmower, same model and everything, $2,300. Actually, 2,400.
wow,
And you used to be able to buy an extended warranty for like $60.
yep,
An extended warranty for 1 year is $300.
wow, wow, amazing,
Just yeah, I
amazing.
mean that's just some of it. We filled up my son. He put in $30 worth of gas in his wife's Forerunner. He got 10 gallons of gas,
Wow.
not even a half a tank, you know. And it's just like yeah, and this guy thinks our economy is doing good. Wow.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah. How about? I was hoping Bill Ronayne would jump in. I sent him a link, but
Yeah, yeah,
I think he got. He's tied up with some activities. Hold
yeah,
on.
yeah. See, I mowed my yard today, and all this dust is in the air, and it's making Art cough.
Yeah, and I think it was that smoke from your cigarette.
No, it isn't a John Deere. It's a Cub Cadet. Uh,
Uh,
uh, XL1. Yeah. It's, anyways, John Deere's. You're right. Any more John Deere's, you're paying for the name.
yeah,
You know, they're very proud of their stuff. So
yeah.
Anyway,
their quality isn't as good as it used to be.
no,
Yeah.
and but that's with everything. That's with our you know, and we're going back around. I just answered the question while you were coughing.
Okay.
Now that you're coughing, it's your show.
Well,
Take over.
the reason I'm coughing, I'm just getting over a cold, and I've been sucking on these for the last few days.
Ricola.
Ricola. And I'm feeling much better. Boy, Tuesday and Wednesday, I was just so flippin' sleepy, and I was like, oh, please don't let it be bronchitis again. I can't afford another, you know, this trip to the emergency room, especially now that I don't have health insurance.
Yeah, I thought that's what Obama promised. Everybody was going to have health insurance. What happened to that? Free health insurance.
Yeah, free. So, anything else that Biden said that was just like really way out of? I've been watching Gutfeld, and they've been talking about Dana Perino, and it's just I'm flabbergasted.
They had to backtrack the next day. He as he was walking, as the president was coming off of an aircraft or coming back, I don't know, whatever that one reporter that is with Fox News, Peter Ducey.
Peter Ducey.
Yeah. He asked him, he says, so you're saying anybody who voted for Trump is evil and we're terrorists now? Oh, no, just a percentage of them. I would just mean the ultra extremists. No, you misunderstood.
Yeah.
Well, you only said it like 15 times. Mm-hmm. How could we misunderstand you, knothead?
Oh, and then also in the speech, thanks for reminding me, he said it was only a small minority of Republicans that believe in that. I'm like,
only the MAGA.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, you just said that this is like a huge problem, and then the next thing you're saying, well, it's not a minority, it's just a small percentage. Like, well, what is it? I mean, your economy is about as good as your math.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It was in just the whole red background. I kept hearing about it, because I was listening to it on Sirius XM. Finally, I decided, well, maybe I actually better look at a clip or two before the weekend. And I looked at it, and I'm going, "What the hell is he doing?" It was
at least he was, coherent.
Yeah, they pumped him up good with drugs.
Yeah, they must have given him an extra dose of Prevagen or something.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is like 2 months out, a little more than 2 months out from the election, and you give a speech like this. How is that going to help your party? Especially, I mean, there are candidates out there that don't want him around.
Well, here's a theory that I've heard passed around several times. Labor Day special dose, yeah.
Another Mike.
Night train.
We're all full of mics.
Got a lot of mics tonight, yeah.
Yeah. It's open mic night.
It's open mic night. Yeah, there you go. One of the theories I heard, and it is probably the most, it really is plausible, as weird as it sounds, that he's playing the Wizard of Oz. In other words, don't look at the man behind the curtain.
Oh.
And he's doing that for his, because he's so hated. If all the focus is on him and our Republican colleagues who are running for office are focusing on how hateful he was and the great divider that he is, they're not talking about the economy. They're not talking about the border crisis. They're not talking about the electric vehicles in California. Their focus is on the wrong thing. So with luck, our Congress, our the Republicans or the conservatives that are running for these offices are hammering the thing because at the end of the day, 90% of the American people are tuning him out anyways because he's never coherent. So,
Mhm.
but they are worried about when you go to the gas station and put in $30 worth of gas and you get 10 gallons,
Mhm.
or when you, you know, when
Go
you're
to the
going to the
grocery store.
grocery store, going to the grocery store. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you go to buy a loaf of bread, and it's a loaf of bread used to be $1.25. Even just a year or so ago, and now it's like $2.79 for a
Yeah.
loaf of bread.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you buy the cheap stuff that's 3 days old and it's the yeah. Well,
I get the store brand, and
well, I sometimes the
it's
store
about
brand is
$1.
better. Yeah, sometimes the store brand is better.
Mm-hmm.
It depends.
Yeah, I like it.
They
I
say
actually
store
like
brand,
it
but
better than Rainbow or
yeah,
Sara
well,
Lee.
I buy Sara Lee, but sometimes that's one of those items that it's Rainbow slash Sara. It used to be Rainbow, then and Sara Lee were two separate. Sara Lee bought them out, and that's all Sara Lee. But anyways, the problem is it depends on when it's baked. Sometimes that extra soft sandwich bread is just that extra
Yep.
soft. Sometimes it's like, good God, what they do? You almost think you might have got wheat bread instead of white bread.
Yeah.
Because it's so rough texture, and
Yep.
you know,
Yeah, and the same thing happens with the store bought brand, but about good 75% of the time it's pretty darn good
yeah,
bread.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah. Maybe Hunter gave him a bump before the speech.
yeah, maybe.
You know, and that's another thing. The Republicans, if they win this, if they want to win this, they can't keep talking about we're going to have investigation after investigation because that's what we're
Right.
going through now. We
Mm-hmm.
need our congressmen to actually do their friggin' job.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's right.
hopefully this gets
And
replayed somewhere, and some congressman actually listens. Next time my congressman calls me, I'm going to point that out to him. He's
right.
running for Senate now, so and he did win his nomination, so that's good.
Good, good, good. So yeah, that's the main talking points that I've been hearing from Republicans. They're just talking about what Biden, and he's lumping the Democrats, and they'll plug in the person they're running against, saying this person voted with Biden, and you got high inflation, you got high
Yes,
gas price, you got high interest rate. You've got,
yeah,
I mean,
and
so
that's what
they
they need
just
to.
go through that.
Yeah, and that's what they need to be focusing on, not on
Hmm.
the silly man and his red cape, his red curtain.
Right. And hopefully, some of those candidates that were endorsed by Trump don't start talking about how the election was stolen.
Yeah,
Stay
that's the
away
number
from
one thing.
that.
Stay
Stick
away
to
from
the
it.
talking point.
Get over
And,
it.
yep,
And
because,
hey, we got 2 more years. Pardon me. We got 2 more years to get through,
yep.
and we don't need to be wasting time on endless investigations. Okay, we can
Hmm.
have one or two. There's probably a
Hmm.
couple of them that need to be, but we probably need to undo the January 6th uh,
Yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
That bell needs to be unrung. But other than that, let's get on with doing the people's job, which is what they are hired
Right.
to do. You know.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
So you said
So,
campaign ads were starting out already. So you've been
yep,
hearing some good ones
I
there in
just saw
Colorado.
my first TV ad from our General Leasing. I'm Governor Polis here in Colorado. His statement was, I won't let government stand in the way of two people. If they love each other, by God, they ought to be, you know, they should marry. He makes it sound like Republicans are against that. They're not. That's not a
No,
big issue.
there is actually a gay Republican conservative that is serving right now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but he's a fiscal conservative. He's politically conservative. He's, and I can't remember his name. Forgive me, but uh,
Hey, Marcel. Welcome to the show.
yeah, we definitely qualify for old Gimps, and
Ah, and
yeah,
Chris Wedgeworth. All right, great. He also said that I won't let government stand between a patient and their doctor. Kind of a dig at abortion, which is not a big topic here in Colorado because it's still legal here. You know?
right. Well, it's not in Oklahoma, except I can now get an abortion at the VA hospital.
Oh, okay.
I just got an email just today that the VA hospital, the secretary of the Department of Veterans Affairs, has issued the order that VA hospitals will now provide it. And okay, they're not going to
Yeah.
provide it just because you got lucky one, just because she decided to get frisky one night and then woke up the next morning and realized you weren't her husband. So, but in the case of incest and rape
Right.
and
Health of the mother.
health of the mother, those are the three
Right.
things. That's the only three things that the VA will pay for an abortion for.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And unless you're in Arkansas, then they don't pay for the incest one.
Yeah, that's right. Because they
I'm
don't
sorry,
have.
everybody from Arkansas. I was actually married in Arkansas, so.
So also, about a month ago, I've been seeing ads on YouTube from our accidental senator Michael Bennett, and now he's teamed up with the other chucklehead Howdy Doody Hickenlooper, saying, "Oh, we were there to save the environment, and now we voted for the Inflation Reduction Act,"
Yeah.
which doesn't do that because
No, it's
now
not
with
going to.
the student loan forgiveness, that's going to add another 300 billion plus to the deficit, which is going to wipe out all that savings they said they would get from the Inflation Reduction Act.
Yeah. Here's something else that I find funny because they said it was to help save the environment, and they're pushing. California is now outlawed and by such and such. I don't know when they
Yeah,
can
in
no longer sell
2035.
2035. I'll be too senile to drive then, anyways. Not that I'm not already, but uh, uh, hello, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
But on top of that, they said, the electric vehicle is the thing that is going to make California great again. Okay. But they're having rolling brownouts in California, or if you have a smart device on your a smart thermostat, they're locking your thermostat down. Several states have gone through that. I think New Mexico just went through that. They had, they don't have the infrastructure to keep things running, but they want everybody to get electric cars. So what do you do, when the charge runs out, Not even a hybrid. It's got to be all electric. So that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
And plus, how are those people going to pay for those vehicles? They're not cheap. They're pretty darn expensive.
If they're $60,000 plus in 2022, they're going to be $150,000 or more by 2035.
Yep.
I didn't pay that much for this house. And this is a 2,100 square foot house.
Yep.
And
also,
with interest,
what it's going to do? It's going to kill their economy.
Oh yeah.
It's going to wreck. It's like you guys did it to yourself.
But it's going to help out China though because of all the mining that they're going to be doing over there for all the minerals needed to make the circuit boards, to make the batteries, to make the, And
what are those circuit boards made with?
I don't know. Silicone.
Petroleum.
Petroleum. Yeah. Circuit boards are made with petroleum. The silicone that's in. Yeah. There is just so many things that make.
And what goes into the tanks of the trucks and shovelers and bulldozers?
Yeah. Petroleum.
Fuel. Yeah. And where does that come from?
Well, yeah, and diesel is fossil fuels, and diesel is probably the bigger pollutant. I saw the perfect thing the other day. Somebody said it's not the car that is the problem, and it showed it was a map. It was a map of all the aircraft that were in the air at that one point across the United States.
Right.
The map was completely covered because of all those aircraft flying. Are they going to make those aircraft out of electric vehicles?
Yeah. Electric motors. Yep.
Yeah. That might be fine to carry one or two people like a sky taxi or something, but it ain't going to work for a 747 or a 787 or something like that. It's just not going to work. So, 50 tons of ore for each electric car battery. Yes.
Yep. And those batteries are not recyclable.
No, they're not. And on top of that, if an electric car catches on fire, they're far more dangerous to the firefighters than a fossil fuel car, because those electric. First off, the car, once it not counting the pollution that it puts out, the poisonous gases that are put out by it, but on top of that, you've got to worry about that car, being electrified, which is what happens a lot,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
true.
I would
not want to be an electric. I would not want to be in an electric car when that thing has a major wreck, because, you don't die from the impact, because they're probably fairly cheaply made. Some of the smaller ones are anyways. You might get electrocuted, and it's, and I think those are those 12-volt batteries, or are they 6-volt batteries that they use in those?
I have no idea.
Because if they were smart, they would be using 6-volt batteries, because they actually have more power than a 12-volt does. I learned that from Jay Leno. Jay Leno's Garage.
Yeah, he's probably got a really nice Tesla.
What he drives? You know what he drives for his electric vehicle? A 1913 Dexter. It's a coach that's got windows all the way around, and it's got a seat here facing that way and a seat here facing this way, and it has a tiller in it, and you sit in the one seat, and you drive it, and it's got 24 batteries in total, 6-volt batteries, 12 in front, 12 in back. It's all-wheel drive. It only goes 25 miles an hour, but after seeing the suspension and everything, you don't want to go faster than 25.
Yeah,
They did a fast left turn, and he was sitting on the passenger side because he's letting the guy from another car show drive it, and they turned into the driveway a little too fast, and the door goes flying open, and Jay Leno, because there's no seatbelts, and Jay Leno almost went flying out too. So at 25 miles, and they are top heavy. Oh, they're 3.7-volt batteries? Okay. Well, that's good. I've got...
Oh, I want to apologize for getting over a cold, and
yeah,
and it's starting to get warm in here. Got the afternoon sun coming through the window.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Actually, it's getting kind of dark here. We're supposed to be getting some rain in. I'm glad I got my lawn mowed. So, anyways, but yeah, so that bill that they passed to help, reduce inflation, all it was just, well, it's another waste of money.
Yeah, it was just money to pay off their business people. Hold on.
All right. Well, I saw a couple of things this week. They realized that they were dropping in the polls with the young people. That's why they did the college, bailout
Yeah.
thing, pay off the student loans or pay. They didn't even offer. They didn't even pay him off. They paid $10,000. Well,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a medical doctor, I
Yep.
guarantee you got more than $10,000 in debt.
Yep.
Now, my cousin, his daughter, she just sold her house and she had intended to pay off her student loan. Now
Right.
she's been teaching for she's you know she's been teaching for quite a few years, but she had the opportunity because she needed to extend her education because she taught in private schools, and now she was
Right.
back and she was teaching. Had if she would teach in one of the public schools for 2 or 4 years, they would eliminate her college loan, but she had to teach in a public school, and that was part of the loan agreement. But then they had a time period where because of COVID they weren't taking the money out. So she's in the process and she's filled out paperwork. I think she's filled it out 10 times in the last 2 months because she has now finished her contract with the public schools. And thank God she's gone to a private school, a Christian academy in Tulsa.
Right.
And of course she says it's wonderful because, she says instead of having to go buy extra chalk and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff that they use as teachers use to teach classes, no, they've got a completely supplied closet full of everything they need. She teaches the STEM classes too,
Oh,
and she even has a full working STEM lab with 3D printers.
oh,
You
oh
know,
boy.
which before
Nice.
they had to bring their own 3D printers in to do it. And
Well, might be. I've been sucking on these cola,
Ricola, yeah. That's
and
why I'm
it's
flapping
helped.
my gums. If I'm trying to fill in the,
Oh
I'm
man.
trying to fill in the spots for that.
Yeah.
But
So, Sarah Palin lost her election.
yeah,
Yeah, she was. But here's the funny thing about it. Up in Alaska, they've got what's called ranked choice voting,
and what is that?
where you go through and you pick. You got like 3 or 4 choices, and you pick the group or the person you want, and then you go over to the next one. Then you pick those people. And Sarah Palin, even though she won as a Republican, this is where they lump all the parties together.
So they sort
So
of have a tiered thing set up so that whoever the top winner, sort of like the NCAA March Madness, where they have the brackets. Is that way it is? Something
right,
like that.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
California has that. That's why they're so blue. It's just another way for Democrats to
Democrats to
ensure that they
control. Yeah.
hold on to power.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm not really totally in the know on how that works. She may be on the ballot in November, and she might be able to win. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Hmm.
Uh.
So,
Oh.
but
I don't. Go ahead. Go ahead.
she's got some minuses because after the election she went back to being governor of Alaska, and then she quit halfway through, and I think that kind of put off a lot of people rather than sticking it out. But from what I understood, her reason why she resigned is that with all the lawsuits and all the craziness going on, it just would have been.
Yeah. Well, yeah. While you're trying to get control of that, I saw that Mike B said discussing. Let's see, 97 degrees, 80% humidity, a mile from the ocean. Mike B says 800 degrees here in hell, far from the ocean, and that brings up to mind. This is a philosophical question.
Okay.
For the people in hell, where do they tell other people to go?
Right. Yeah,
Let's go
go
for
to
an answer.
heaven.
Red Skelton actually said that.
Oh, yeah?
On Johnny Carson, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
He says, for the people in hell, where do they tell people to go? And I'm like, make you stop and
Hades?
think.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Purgatory? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Purgatory's halfway.
Yeah, that's right.
In
I
the
was
middle.
going to say that.
It's before the good Lord decides whether he's going to keep you or throw you out.
Right.
Like, let's see.
It's kind of like time out for bad people.
I used to talk it. Well, the way they teach it is, it's where you go. As I said to my priest, I'm driving out. I've just taken communion. I've just left mass. I'm driving out the parking lot, and some drunk driver on early Sunday morning comes flying through there and hits me, and the last thing I say is, "Oh, am I going to go to hell?" He says, "No, you'll go to purgatory until you clean up your mouth, and then you go to heaven."
Oh, there you go.
And that's how they explained it. I mean, because I had understood it, but a lot of people were having trouble with it, so I put it in the vernacular that they would understand. Which, and he said that's exactly how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Something, that last minute stupid thing you do or say.
Yep. There you go. Now the other thing,
I don't think Joe's going there. He's already dressing in red. So.
There's another not a website, but a YouTube channel called Red Eagle Politics, and they do a lot of election predictions. And now, I guess Trafalgar has Washington Senate race in play. So
really,
I mean, it's a slim chance, but wouldn't that be something if we pick up that seat?
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah. And we've some of the subjects we talk about. One of them, I just we talk about gun control and all these mass shootings, and they said some of that's been a problem. Well, Canada today had a mass killing of 12 different people.
Oh.
In the Royal Canadian Mounted Police are in search of the suspect, and but he didn't use a gun because Canada's got
that's
they've got some weird gun laws too. But he stabbed 13 people over a period of a few hours. He stabbed several of them on the reservation, and went and they're in hunt of this indigenous Canadian, and he was using a knife. I can't call them Native Americans. Well, I guess they are.
Yeah, they're Native Canadians.
Yeah, well,
Inuit. They're called up.
Yeah, well, not all of them. There's all sorts of tribes up there, just like there is here.
Okay.
I mean, you got the Blackfeet, you got the Crow, you got different groups up there. But
well, thanks for bringing us that cutting edge report.
Yes, cutting edge report.
Mm-hmm.
They're a manhunt for a serial knifer.
Oh, okay.
Just goes to show you if they want to, if somebody's intent on killing people, and he did it all this morning about 5:30. They got the first call, and he's killed, I think, 13 people so far, and they're still hunting him.
Wow.
So,
did they say what province or what city?
It's Saskatchewan.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's Regina is the main city closest to where. So, it's some of it was in Regina. So,
okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you, if evil wants to do, evil's going to do. End of conversation.
Mr. J.R. Seeds, welcome to the show. Boy, Maddie's going to be really pissed now.
Yeah, well, his show goes on longer than an hour, though, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, we'll be over here in another 10 or so.
Plus, we're talking about totally different stuff.
We talk about politics, lawnmowers, mass stabbings.
Lawnmowers, grocery items, bread.
Right.
Yep.
Ventriloquism,
Yep. Coffee.
My new eyeballs. I no longer have to color grade any of my videos because I can see the color properly now.
Well, great. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. What's really nice is both eyes are the same color now because, yeah, things were just before I had this last eye surgery. The right eye had healed up really well, so it was seeing really, really well. But the left eye, was still out of focus, so that was creating problems for me. And this one was yellow. This one was seeing pure bright white.
Mm.
Now they're both seeing bright white, although I still can't see.
What?
That's the way I watch TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One of us is locked up, you or me.
It's you, but could be me. I'll go look on. Nope. Looked over on YouTube. Yep.
Yeah. So I just rebooted everything, so my stuff is looking good as far as I can see. So, but it's
Good,
that time of the
good.
evening. Everybody's jumping on, so it's coming up.
Oh yeah.
8:00 Central, and
yeah. And next week will be the beginning of the football season.
Yeah. And I will let I'll let everybody know today that I may not be doing a show tomorrow. So keep,
Okay.
Because it is Labor Day, and we may actually do
yeah.
something. It is me. I don't know why in the hell it's doing that. I don't understand what is causing me to have.
Yeah, because you kind of stutter and all of a sudden.
Yeah, but see, you were freezing up on me. So from my side, I saw you freezing up. So
must be that Okie internet.
It's got to be. It's got to be. Yeah, we're supposed to have this high-speed internet.
Those damn squirrels are running across the
cable
again.
Our internet just became opium internet or optimum internet.
Oh,
maybe it would be better if it was opium, but it's optimum, and it went from Suddenlink to optimum. And they're upgrading everything.
Well, James over at My PI Dreams has been having internet issues, and that's why he wasn't on last night.
Okay.
And he put out a video, I think it was Friday or something, and I watched it Saturday, talking about, we're having internet issues. And it was a really short video.
Is he using that Starlink?
No, but he talked about it. He said, can't wait for it to get here in the Philippines.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're working with, I can't remember which phone company it is now. He just signed a deal with one of the big cell phone carriers so that you won't have dropped calls with them, because if it loses it from the cell tower, it'll pick it up on Starlink. So
there you go. And
more technology than we need.
Well, good news is my girlfriend just got internet at her house, so I've been doing video chat with her early in the morning.
Okay.
Because I usually get up around 5 o'clock in the morning, because I'm so used to getting up, and that's getting up late for me, because I used to get up at 3:30 in the morning.
I'm usually not even asleep at 3:30 in the morning. Man. So are you still a full-time YouTuber, or will you be doing
Yes, at the moment I am. I do have an interview, an in-person interview, Tuesday. I went through the preliminary with the staffing service, and they pass it off to
Steve.
They pass it off to the
next
person who does the hiring, and so I did a phone interview with them, and the guy was impressed, and he goes, "Well, I like your qualifications, and would like to have a face-to-face interview with you on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. And it's in Genesee, Colorado.
Where is that at?
Well, you know where Golden is?
Yeah.
Head towards the mountain.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. I know where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a wonderful commute.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I hope everything goes okay and you don't come up short
Yeah.
on the interview.
Yeah. They're sort of like my last job that I did briefly. They make components for medical device equipment, which is cool.
Well, I slid that in there and just as smooth as could be, didn't I?
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
I said, I hope everything goes okay with your interview and you don't come up short on it.
Where is my...
Yeah. Like you hadn't heard that kind of comment.
There we go.
I slid it in there so fast you didn't even hear it, so.
iPod. Take care, Steve. I hope you have a great evening.
Yeah. And be safe tomorrow, whatever you do, so.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be doing some fishing in the morning, and it's going to be hot all this week. We're going to be in the 90s.
Yeah, we were a little warm today, but well, it's just now 89, so it's coming up on 7 o'clock our time. So yeah, so it's that's where we're at too.
Well, while we close out the show, we'll talk about my new little drone that I got. I went and flew the Avata this morning, and I love it. It took me a while to get used because I used the motion controller, and it does have a sport mode on it, so I could really zip around. And I mean, it just took me a while. All you do is you tilt your wrist. You don't do this.
Yeah.
You just tilt it, and it's got a trigger on it for. It's like the
speed
throttle switch, and it's got a big button called the brake. And on the side, it's got a button for the camera. And
yeah, I was thinking about that because several people have brought up that this might be good for somebody with handicaps.
Right.
And I'm thinking that somebody needs to make a square base with just a divot in it.
Right. You can have it like right there on your chair.
You could have that and have it right there on your chair and control it that way because
and
because
you tilt up to go up,
tilt up to go up, down to go down, and sideways to do that.
Yep, yaw, right and left.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think if somebody 3D printed that, those things would sell. So, if Ken Dono ever sees this, that's another project he can do. And and I brought up he was on First Friday.
Yes,
and
I saw that. Yep.
I mentioned to him that, hey, has anybody thought about 3D printing the frame? In a because you can take that and 3D, take the frame off and put that into
like
carbon
fiber. Yeah,
carbon fiber. Yeah, I think that's going to be something that somebody will do eventually. They'll somebody's going to create a carbon fiber frame for it.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. So you got a couple of short flights. This video is going to be a little different because it's going to be more of a review where you're going to see some video of the flight, and then I'm going to give you my impression about the drone. I love the goggles, but watch the video and I'll talk about what I like about the goggles, what I didn't like about them, and also I gotta change the settings on it because evidently I just left the factory settings where if you hit record, it goes to the internal storage.
So
I gotta go in through the camera settings and change that.
Right.
Because
Right.
I pulled out all the SD cards. You know, there's one that goes in the goggles,
right,
and then there's one that goes in the drone. In the goggles, you get the same view, but you get all the telemetry on it.
Right. Yeah.
So,
how do you like the menu thing on the side of the goggles?
Oh, it took a while to get used to it. But the part that I don't like is where it says use 2 fingers. I'm like, oh yeah, that's going to work out good.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was able to get it to work, and took me a
Yeah, those are some of the flaws I see. You know, that and somebody that has problems with their hands putting that SD card into the Avata itself.
Yeah, well, that's going to be all talked about in the video.
That's definitely the SD slot from hell, from what I can tell.
Yeah. Well, and you know how I had to download the video?
You had to plug it in or do it wireless?
I had to plug it in.
Yeah.
And the port is like right next to the...
Right next to it. I was going to say, that's not a lot better. Yeah. Well, with me, it was either get the Avata or the lawnmower, and I hardly ever fly my drones anyways.
Yeah.
But I do need my lawn mode, so I got
there lawnmower. You go. And, with this drone, I think I could be comfortable shooting gaps with it.
Yeah. Now, can you fly in the manual mode with the...
No, not with the motion control. You can.
That's with good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good because sport mode for beginners is probably fast enough,
Yep.
And it is a Cinewhoop. It's not a freestyle drone. It is, after all, a Cinewhoop, so that makes a lot of sense. So, anyways,
stick around for the video. A little later, I'm going to do my impressions on. So, Lloyd, thanks for coming. Everybody in the chat, thanks for coming. See you guys all next week. Have a great and safe holiday weekend. God bless you, and catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.